Woo.
Well, good evening, South Beach and Ocean Drive and Wilton Manors and Wilton Drive, and good evening, America. And it is a genuine welcome to It's Happening Out, the world's most popular live gay television talk show. It's 9 p.m. Wednesday, March 9th, 2022. I have to put in the 2022 because I'm starting to
age yourself.
the years, right? Okay.
Wow.
There it
Early,
is. Bam, in the first 34 seconds. I get my first read at 34 seconds. Okay, it's on now.
I feel bad because I was going to say reminiscing on the 1920s.
There it is. All right, I'm your anchor, Al Ferguson. Let's start by meeting tonight's host. Just a moment, Ty. We'll get to you. This is FayWhat. She's a radio and television personality and has the popular blog and the YouTube channel aiming to unite the L and the G together. Make sure to catch the FayWhat Show, the first LGBTQ plus morning show of its kind ever, Mondays at 9 a.m. Eastern, online, or, of course, your smart television. Good evening, Faye.
Good evening, Al. And you don't look a day over 104, so I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, 1 minute, 17 seconds. Just a moment. There we go.
Like tallying it up.
Yeah, that's right.
What do we do when we tally something out?
Yes, yeah.
Do we ring a bell?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow, John, I thought we were friends.
We're buds. There it is.
Wow.
Next up is John Hayden. John, he's my favorite on the show, by the way. John's been a journalist for 27 years and now works for several South Florida outlets, including SFGN, covering politics, arts, and the bar scene, mostly for his own and latest news on happy hours. Good evening, John.
Good evening, Al. Good evening, everyone. And speaking of SFGN, I've got a story in there this week about Stoli, as we're about to dive into some much-needed cocktails after this week. But Stoli is produced in Latvia. It is not
doing a Russian
it is,
for the vodka out story.
Yeah, people are pouring out their Stoli. Don't. That helps Putin. Stoli is made in Latvia. It does not, one dime, not one ruble goes back to Putin's pockets. In fact, he is fighting for the copyright or the trademark, Putin is. So drink your Stoli. If you're going to have cocktails, don't pour it out.
You know what's cute about this embracement in his introduction is he wraps it in, I'm being good for Ukraine and anti-Russian, when it was just a shameless plug for him. Interesting.
All right. And for people to send me free bottles of vodka.
He's looking for a sponsor. He's looking for a sponsor.
Looking for a sponsor for his stories at SFGN. Right, got it. All right, next up is Sobourney Barnes, a true South Florida native, born and raised in Broward County, to parents who found joy in public service. Is it any surprise that she began working at SunServe, a local nonprofit agency that works and serves the LGBTQIA plus community? Welcome, Sobourney.
Thank you for having me. This is my second IHO. And I think the last one I threatened to take your job.
Yeah. Oh.
Wow. She did that already in the first one. I missed that one.
But he offered
3 minutes,
too.
18
He offered.
seconds.
He offered.
He offered. He said, one day you'll be in the seat. I said, give me.
You've never told me one day I'll be in your seat. You've never told me that. I've been with you almost 2 years. You've not even once told me.
There's a reason why. Next up, this is Dr. Tai Houser. He is an associate professor of English and humanities at Broward College. Additionally, he teaches for extended periods of time at international colleges in China, Russia, Ukraine. Well, you get it. Good evening, Tai.
Hey, Al. Last time I had an IHO, my doctor just gave me some penicillin at 1 o'clock.
That's funny. No, it really wasn't. So, good evening, South Florida. We are the first and most popular live LGBTQ talk show in the world. We have so much to talk about tonight. Next on It's Happening Out.
This week on It's Happening Out. Join us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
Well, Well, as we told you, you are watching a live and unedited LGBTQ talk show, so anything can happen. We're only 4 minutes into the show, and many, many things have already happened, and they'll all regret it. So anything can happen, remember? Anything. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and click that bell for updates. If you're on Facebook, ring that bell for update. If you're on Facebook, like and share this video. Also, wait, did it bother you? Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe he's gonna sensitive ears.
Also, make sure. Wait,
My ears are fine.
That would mean it would be bothering Ty. Also, make sure your friends and family know they can watch us on their smart televisions on the platforms of Roku, Google TV, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Have you watched yourself in Roku yet?
I have. I look beautiful in HD.
Yeah.
Are we watching the same show?
Wow.
We will not attack
See, again, and you wanted to be in my bed? That's never going to happen, my friend.
Okay, just warning, if they place you in my seat next time, beware.
All right. Let's begin the show with the unique meme of the week. We've done this for it seems like 152 years. This week, our meme is called "Gay Sex is like an iPhone and lesbian sex is like an Android."
Gay sex is like an iPhone because it's very user-friendly, but lesbian sex is like an Android because even though it takes more work, it's easier to customize and gives you way more control.
What do y'all think?
I mean,
Jalisa Johnson.
Jalisa, listen, lesbian sex, there's always a winner. And both are always happy and walk away happy they came.
there you go.
Hey. In gay sex, I always come out on top, so it's fine.
That's because you're a top.
Not what I heard. Do you know what bisexual people use?
No.
Flip phones.
Okay, I'm not even going.
What do we say?
We're not touching
You've
the
been
mic.
hanging out with Greg Shapiro too long. He's been hanging out with Greg too
Wait,
much.
you know,
Not
there's.
come for the money.
I don't know if y'all have heard. There's a rumor that John and Greg Shapiro are going to do a show together.
No way.
Oh, the government.
Who
Wait.
started that rumor, John?
I was going to say Happening on Television Network and Hotspots Magazine must really be scraping the bottom. All right, with John's joke, who needs a drink?
Oh, yes, please.
John.
All right, so
Thursday.
let's play our yes or no game called I'd Swallow That.
Okay.
We have played
I'd
it
swallow
since
this.
episode 1, 2019, I think, September 20, 2019.
And for folks that think that it's not real liquor that they're drinking, okay, start watching and just follow Al. His words start slurring a little bit, you know, he starts
He
sounding
might
like
even
me.
start to get funny.
Yeah. All right. All right. You keep bringing it. Keep piling on, y'all. All right. We invite you to play at home right along with us as I'm going to ask these hosts 4 questions. If they agree with the question, then they take the shot. And we're doing some kind of orange vodka gasoline
Smells like
shot
soda.
thing.
Fun.
I know. Disagree, well, it's going to be a long night for everybody, but especially me. All right. We're all ready?
Ready.
Understand? All right. Then let's play I'd Swallow That. When Kate McKenna was on Weekend Update this week, she ripped into Florida's Don't Say Gay by saying gay in every possible way. I'd swallow that. Question number 1. Kate McKenna, SNL Weekend Update slamming Don't Say Gay gives me hope for the world.
Oh, thank
She
you,
was
Kate.
awesome, wasn't she?
Cheers, girl.
She
Here's
was
the premise.
fantastic.
If you're the 3 people that didn't watch it, she was saying that she loved that they were passing this here in our beloved state, in our beloved capital of Tallahassee, because she was bullied when she was in school because people called her gay.
The thing was, and she would do things, and they would say, "Oh, that's so gay," and "You're so gay," and
Can't do that
and you can't do
anymore.
that. That's bullying.
And
Like,
they-
let's be honest.
Yes.
It's one of those things that people got away with through the 90s,
That's
but
right.
we can't do it anymore.
Right, and for you through the 70s. And Colin Jost said, wait, Kate, you misunderstand. This means you can't speak or acknowledge gay. And her face was priceless. Wait, what?
Like,
I can't acknowledge that my 2 dads that bought me when I was 4 years old, or I
Are gay?
Can't talk
and then
about
she
me.
made a lesbian joke, and then she made it was just off to the races from there. It was awesome.
I think she is one of the 10 best women to ever be on Saturday Night Live as a regular character. I mean, she's up there with Gilda Radner,
Wow.
Jane Curtin, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who wasn't great on the show but went on to great things. I mean, she is so talented and a great representative for our community.
I was saying, I watched her do an interview with Hoda this week, and Hoda asked her if she was always basically, are you crazy as F, like I think? And as she was answering the question, she leaned back in the chair and took off her shoes and put her feet right at Hoda's face. Just played with Hoda's face with her feet, and it was like,
And I love
That's
how
taking it a step
out
too
she is, you know? Like, you know, we're always like constantly playing around with each other, like, how gay can we be? We're so gay. We live in the gayest place on planet Earth. And she, when they ask her about her gayness, she goes, oh no, I'm terribly gay.
terrible. Exactly. All right, enough about the lesbians
Don't
and the
come to
women.
them.
All right.
We're everywhere.
Let's get
We're
into
iconic.
the men.
Thank you.
Ready?
You've gotten into many men, haven't you?
Exactly. Like you go into men on a constant basis. Like we always go
I'm
into men.
disappointed that I didn't do that joke.
I'm going to get back
It's
to you.
because women are faster.
I'm going.
and smarter.
Wait, we don't want to be faster.
I do.
John's got stuff to do.
Your role is different than my role, dude. All right, when Superman came out
something
last
floating in
year,
there.
the writer of the comic was from Australia. A group celebrated him last week for Sydney's Pride. I'd swallow that question. Number 2. Gay Superman comes out at Sydney's Mardi Gras, and it makes me want to be Aussie. Real bad.
Yeah.
Doesn't it take like 24 hours to get to Australia? I do it at this point.
The longest, watch this video as we're talking about it. There are the parading Superman.
Yeah.
And women.
And
Exactly.
well, but they're
Super
Supermen, women in the Superman costume. Well, I guess it could be Supergirl. you
Would
know,
it be
whatever.
Superman's
Yeah.
or Superman?
Supermen's?
Super people
Menzie.
is the gender neutral tone
Super people.
They're
There
carrying
we go. They're
super
newspapers
gay.
about Superman coming out.
because
love
Superman is
it.
a gay. I mean, anyone who wears tight tights like that, I'm gonna question. Especially if they're assless.
Let me
like
give
that,
you a
I'm
little
just saying.
secret about Australia. If you want to know something about
We all know
Tell
your
us,
fetish.
fun fact about Australia
First off,
That is nice.
my Siri is an Aussie male
on your phone.
on my phone. And people, it just drives them crazy because it is perfection Aussie voice. I love it. I love it.
Ask it
I
something.
love it. Well, I don't have my phone.
Ah,
okay.
boom, boom.
I would have loved to hear that.
Second, I've been to Australia many, many times. The Sydney, I've been all over. Red Centre, Perth. It's my favorite person place in the world. Not everybody wants to go to Australia. No, no, no. If you go to the South Pacific, go to New Zealand. You know, the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It's spectacular to see. But you've got to go to Australia, not because of the sights, not because of the cities or anything, because of the people. Aussies are there's just something wrong with them.
Really?
And you love it. You love it. They are so quirky. It is just absolutely
They're
fantastic.
everywhere as well. Every country I go to, I meet a handful of Australians. They're everywhere.
That's where the kangaroos are, right?
Yeah. But that's also where
Gay
like,
kangaroos!
but that's also where the killer bugs are and things like that huge spider that kills you, that snake that kills you. I don't want to go to Australia. They even have like a killer bird there. No offense, Aussies, because isn't Nicole Kidman from Australia?
Yes, she is.
I adore her. Like I
She's
love
8
her.
feet tall. She could step on you.
Exactly. She can step
is the
on me
killer
all
bug.
day. She's the killer bird. She's
Right,
graceful.
exactly.
She can step on my throat.
All
But I'm
right.
just saying, no spiders.
That joke would be inappropriate. Filters on Instagram, Snapchat, and similar can completely change the look of someone. That was made apparent when Madonna was recently photographed leaving a restaurant.
Yeah.
Look at that picture. Tell me that's Madonna. By the way,
Madonna.
it's
Bitch, that's
Madonna. Bitch, I'm Madonna. I'd swallow that question number 3. I was honestly shocked by Madonna's unfiltered picture.
Yes, because it makes her look so I'm not gonna fashion, but it makes her look bigger than I've seen her in photos. So it's very shocking.
It looks like she's gotten
see
some
that.
work done recently, you know, but I'm a huge Madonna fan. I don't care if she's wearing a piece of bread. She just looks freaking, I don't care. I mean, I just don't care.
Madonna.
I'm
It's
not,
Madonna.
I'm not shocked by her pictures. What I'm shocked by is how hot her son is.
Yeah, Rocco's yeah.
Ew, Ty.
Isn't he a baby to you?
That's nasty, puppy.
He's 21.
Okay, so he's
Okay,
legal.
okay, that's all right.
That makes it better.
All right, my bad.
Oh, wait. No, you misunderstand. Faye's just talking about anything that has to do with sex and you. That's what she was talking about. It's
That's
nasty.
ill too.
Ooh, Ty takes his gloves off.
There we go. Material Girl, is she still relevant?
No.
Do you believe that we would even ask that question?
I'm gonna
In
go with you. I don't know.
1995, if we were doing It's Happening Out and I would have asked that question, y'all would have booed me off this show.
Okay.
Well, she was relevant in 1995.
It was 20
What
years
is
ago.
she
But, okay,
doing
but you guys
now?
are talking a bunch of crap right now. I'm sorry, gay people. You're talking a bunch of you know what. Because right now, if she came on tour, all your asses would be in that stadium.
I
and
couldn't-
it would be sold out.
I couldn't
okay?
afford the
And she would be
ticket. I
4
couldn't
hours
afford
late
the
and you'd
ticket.
still
Here's,
be
here's
Yeah,
the-
I'm not here to wait up for her to come after the 11:30 airing of Deco Drive.
Here-
I mean,
here's the proof of
John's
Faye's,
gonna get home and get to bed.
here's the proof of Faye's statement. Front row twice.
And you're
different
talking
countries.
bull right now,
Front
right?
I mean,
The first time I sat there for 2 hours. The second time I sat there for 3 hours and 45
The one here.
minutes.
That was the one here in Miami. Yeah.
The DJ tore down the set and was an hour, and they made him come back out and reset his entire equipment platform because she was so late. And when she came on, hundreds of people got their money back. People were mad as all get out. And when she came out, of course, Madonna would smooth it all out. She's in Miami. She knows LGBT loves her here. And when she came out, she got booed very significantly. And you know Madonna's going to smooth it all out. And her first words are, "What the F is the problem? This is Miami." And that was her apology.
That was it.
Boom,
I
and
guess
let's go on.
She's not relevant to me.
In
but whatever.
24 minutes, we cared no more.
Forgot about it. Erotica came out. You were like, whatever, bitch, whatever. What time is it? Who cares?
Who
I ain't going to work
cares?
tomorrow.
That's right.
Everybody called in sick. Shut
It's
up.
after this show, when we leave this show at 4 a.m., let's go to Score
And
or
Twist.
Twist, and because they were open all night, illegally, by the way, and it was like, ooh, we were off to the races.
I do not understand the devotions to the queen because she's not relevant to me. No celebrity is that relevant to me that I'd wait 4 hours.
Would you hand your gay card to me, please?
No.
It is suspended for 14 days.
I'm not a gay man. I am.
You're no longer going to
here's my
receive the
question.
agenda on Monday morning.
That's exactly right.
but I saw that tour as well in Vegas. She didn't play any songs that we know.
Yeah.
She
that
won't
too.
play anything
That
from
too.
before 2007. And I'm like, if I'm flying across country, waiting 3 hours for you to
John,
start,
you
and I'm not
missed-
hearing Holiday?
John.
See, that's
Holiday.
the emotion.
Frozen.
That's the mad right there of I had to wait hours and you didn't do
He
what
said
I
the
wanted
80s
to hear.
song Holiday. Of all the
Holiday?
songs. Did you want to hear La Isla Bonita?
Speaking of
What? That's our new album.
Speaking of old white guy, John, come on. And at the end of the day, Madonna was sitting at Caesars in her penthouse grand suite going, I'm just...
She's making money, so
Counting the coin.
All right, goodbye, MacArthur Causeway traffic.
Oh, good.
Miami.
I don't know.
We're gonna do an I Swallow That of here in South Florida.
Okay.
So long having to find parking on Ocean Drive. You can't park on Ocean Drive anymore, by the way. Who needs Uber and Lyft when you can fly across South Florida? I'd swallow that. Question number 4. Make sure you look at that picture. I finally get the Jetsons promised flying car, as Hyundai has announced its deal with the city of Miami for air taxi service coming to Miami.
That's too much. I'm
It's
sorry.
high-speed flight,
It's cool, but too much.
60 miles an hour. It's designed to fly right down I-95.
Oh.
You
You'll
know
still
I'm
get
doing it
second
as soon
choice.
as I
Hold on,
can.
but is it electrical? Because how gas prices
Yeah.
are right now, we can't afford any of
It's
this.
an electric plane.
Oh, okay, know that. I mean, I'm
yeah,
taking my shot. I
helicopter.
can
Yeah,
I'm doing it. I'm
electric.
doing it the second I can.
Point. I am too.
Yeah.
Point to
Half
point. It's 5 years away. but they have signed the letter of intent. Miami and Hyundai has signed it. Let's put that picture up one more time.
Look,
Let's show the future it's happening.
But will it be
out.
expensive?
Yes.
Well, we don't know that
It
yet.
can't be
No,
any
we
more
don't know, we
dangerous
know.
than driving on 95.
Yeah.
So why not?
Let me ask a couple of quick questions. Does anybody by chance live in Miami-Dade County here at the table?
I do. You know I do.
Oh, yes, I do know you do. Now, it takes you some days when you come to do the FayWhat show, it takes you what, like 3
At
hours?
9 in the morning, 3 hours.
3 hours to go 30 miles. This thing, this Hyundai contraption, can do it it can do it in 12 minutes.
Ooh.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Now
Wow,
I
and where do you
consider- so
land?
just changed my mind on that 12 minutes.
It can land in street. The approvals it'll be able to land right in the
That's
street.
incredible. Listen, I've lived here in South Florida off and on for 20 years, and it just takes you an hour to get anywhere in Miami. It doesn't matter if you are in Miami. Oh, to Wynwood, an hour. And it could be, literally, I live 14 miles away, Al. It should not take me as long as it does.
You know, so a friend of mine, I said this story. I said, oh, we're going to do this and I'd swallow that. And they said, oh, that's just so ridiculous that something like this would come along and blah, blah, blah. And I just crushed them in that moment because you know what I said? In 2010, did you ever hear of Uber?
Ooh.
Everything changes.
Yep.
The moment it changes, everything changes.
Yep.
And you don't realize how significant it is until that moment.
And
I
you
still-
can't
Who would
rem-
live
and-
without
still-
No, and
Uber?
you
It's
can't
still not gonna
remember
work.
life without Uber. You can't remember that.
Yeah, but this is still not going to work, though.
Why do you say
could
that?
work.
Okay, can we see the picture again? I'm sorry, Steve.
You put a logo of Stoli on the
Okay.
side, you're good.
Yeah, okay, but you have, you couldn't land that here at Sunshine. There are too many trees and power lines in the way.
It lands in the street.
It lands in the
Yeah,
street.
yeah. You
They
can't.
get
You couldn't land on the
permitted
street out
to
here.
land- no. If it's clear, it can land in the street.
Yeah, but how many places around here have no power lines, no trees that you could safely land? I just don't think it's practical. I just don't think it's going to work.
And also, I'm just going to point out, it's going to be very expensive. Like, the layperson will probably not be able to use this when they first have it out. So
Let's
it's
come back to
awesome.
my example of 777 taxi in Fort Lauderdale. In 2010, if they would have been presented with a competitive business model that said, oh, people are going to drive their own cars, their first answer at 777 is, first off, you're never going to get in somebody's private car. And second, you'll never have the technology to be able to maneuver payment, pricing, gratuity, and point-to-point service, and a map on your phone that'll tell you exactly where the driver is. That's what 777 would have said. And I'm only pointing out to you, not to argue with you, of course, because I would with anyone else at this table,
Thank you.
is that exact same point is not the foresight of going, oh, absolutely, we're going to do that. Because when it gets here, it gets here. And that's what Uber proved.
Just like the Brightline trains.
Ooh, not like the bright line.
All right.
What? Brightline is taking forever. I wanted to just be able to get on the train and go to Disney World.
And that's
will
coming.
happen. Yeah, that
That's
will
coming.
They
It's
promised this
coming.
like 5-10 years
Yeah,
ago.
okay.
Right.
Well, that's the joke about the Jetsons car. We got promised that in the 60s and it never came. I wanted my jetpack. Where is my freaking jetpack?
I feel like, what's his name who owns Tesla has one, but he just won't share it. Yeah, he
All
won't
right.
share it.
Next up, let's consider the best thing of the week. It's called dogs in cars.
Woohoo!
So
Oh,
simple. Dogs are better than people.
Yes, they are.
I can point that out. We have Luna here as
Where is
our
she?
mascot at Happening Out Television Network, and Luna is better than 4 of the people at this table. It's a simple
You made
fact. Figure that out. Figure it out.
Like, who is it?
So which
the one?
4? I'm not included in that group.
She can be better than me.
As I said, we even have our mascot Luna here on set to prove how important dogs are. Our dogs love us, and many of our dogs love going for rides. It's such a simple concept. And so, best thing of the week, we're going to show you some pictures we love of dogs who love to go for the ride. Let's start to look at some of those
go for
pictures. This is
I love
all
it.
over.
Oh, wait, it's him again. How you
Hi.
doing, boo?
Hello.
hello, puppy.
There.
Oh,
There it is.
There we go.
See?
And there we go.
Wait,
Yeah.
the face.
And there we
yes.
are.
That's man, like,
yes,
hey, yo, get out
great
my way.
Dane. Yes.
Best
Oh my
life.
God.
Yes. Who's coming with me to George's Alibi? Yes.
It's the triplets, the triplets. And
Look at
then
the teeth. The
Teeth.
Yeah.
Luna's coming. She hears your
Oh.
voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luna has just. What is it about us? We see pictures like this, and it could break. You know what we need to do? We need to send these pictures over to the Kremlin and let
Vladimir
see
check 'em out.
these.
He probably killed the dogs because they're
Don't say
happy.
that. Oh my goodness.
I don't know.
Okay, way to bring us down.
Yeah.
This is gonna be so bad for me though, because like my boyfriend said to me, he's like, "Can we get a dog?"
Yes, you can. You can
Wait.
have. I'll help you find
Wait,
one.
let's wait.
There's more
Yes,
to the
and Faye
story.
can do that. But what was your answer to that?
I was like, "Well, can we be together for a year first?"
Like lesbians, like good lesbians.
Faye,
Like good lesbians just move in
who
automatically.
thinks this answer is the right answer? Wrong answer.
Wrong answer.
Well, no,
And
then
you know why? Because when boyfriend or relationship says, "Can we?" they're telling you what they've already decided in their head.
Yes.
He wants a dog.
well, so I got the
Why would
please.
you
I got
deny
the
your
please
boyfriend?
right afterwards,
He said, please.
and I said, "Okay,"
Oh, you said
You said
yes.
okay.
Oh, so you're gonna have a dog.
but it has to be hypoallergenic, so
There we go.
we got to be because he's allergic to dogs.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get
And
you. We'll get you a little Shih Tzu. We'll get you a
You
little
hear
Shih
him?
Tzu and Ferguson's. Is that a type of dog?
Yeah.
I think
A
I'm
Ferguson?
allergic to.
It is a type of dog.
Has your
Hey,
Ferguson has it shot?
Yes, and the booster. It's the type of dog. It's called the big dog. That's what it is. All right. So,
What about cats? Can we do a cat segment?
wait, I'm a cat person.
Same. That's why I'm wearing.
And you know
support
why?
your local
You
cat
know why
club.
cats roll and dogs drool? Because cats look at you and go, "Bitch, get me some food."
Yep.
And then after you've done it, that's it. You're dismissed. Or cats go, "Rub me now."
Yes,
And
love
they'll
me.
do it for 6 minutes, and they go, "I'm done
That's it,
with
I'm
you."
done.
Or you get the cats who are very just like, I just want to be all up on you for like a full hour, and then after that hour, I don't want to see your face.
Ever.
So
You
what
know,
I-
kind of like the one night stand.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
I
hold on,
want
hold
you
on,
to
hold on.
exactly.
What I'm basically hearing here is that my boyfriend is a cat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah, you're finally figuring that out.
Or I'm a cat, and that's how I feel about Faye. All right. Now, next, let's move on to the segment called What's on Your Mind.
Woohoo.
Each host is going to tell us in just 30 seconds what is important to them this week. But remember, in just 30 seconds, or you're going to hear this bell. Everybody understand?
Yes.
All right.
I don't understand. What happens after 30 seconds?
Oh,
I already heard
see,
that.
This
Dios
is why
mío.
John is.
Your favorite. He's your favorite again. I love how that
favorite.
moves around.
I'm okay with the bell now.
All right. Are you? Good for you. All right. All right. So, John Hayden, what's on your mind this week?
On my mind this week is that not everybody is as supportive of our anti-gay or don't say gay bills. Last week, there was a walkout of students at schools. One organizer was suspended indefinitely. The kid was not suspended for organizing the rally, but for handing out pride flags during the event. There are a lot of teachers and administrators that are silently supportive of Don't Say Gay, so don't believe that our students don't need our support still. Outside of Broward, it's a whole different world.
You know, that is in Flagler, St. Johns County. And by the way, the only other place in the world this week that was as repressive of that is don't say gay or speak or say anything about the Ukrainian invasion. Just pointing that out. Faye, what's on your mind this week?
Say what? So, have you guys seen the movie Encanto by Disney? Right? Don't you love that? Everybody has seen it except Ty. All right. So Disney, I'm coming for you. All right. I'm mad. Luisa. All right. She's the sister. She's not married. She looks like a CrossFitter. You know she's a lesbian. Why not make her a lesbian and that's it? I mean, it came across hook, line, and sinker. Luisa, lesbian. But why didn't you make her a little more feminine? Man, you know, just a little more flair. You made her all butch. At least come through with it. You know?
Ooh, all right.
You want, Luisa wasn't a lesbian? Tell me she's not a lesbian, Sobourney.
Hey, all I know is that Phil and Lil's mom is also very extra butch, and she's married to a man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Just saying. Is
Just
that
saying.
it? Yeah,
Just
all right.
saying.
All right. Why not at the FayWhat show make Faye a lesbian? I just don't understand.
You see, that
Brilliant
would be
stroke
like-
right there.
Brilliant.
The web's not ready
Production.
for it.
Right.
They're not ready.
The world's not ready for that. Finally, we're 28 minutes and 44 seconds into this crap, and finally John makes a funny joke. Yay! Victory! Let's pet him. All right. Good job, John. Good job. All right. Now, Sobourney Wiener.
Okay, not even Sobourney Wiener. Wiener. Why, Al? Why, Al?
It's called these damn shots. That's what it is.
You've only done 2.
I've only,
It's like,
I
don't
know.
do it, but it's like gasoline.
Right,
Smell
it's
it from
gasoline.
here.
And I have no food. All right. Sobourney
Wow.
Barnes.
Thank
What's on your
you.
mind?
I like
this week?
Sobourney Wiener. I think you should.
That'll
I'm
be
never
my
going to
drag
live this down.
name.
Ever. All right.
I was alien.
All
No,
right.
that will be my drag name. But
Sobourney Wiener.
okay, I'm gonna be very honest. I got 2 things on my mind. I'm gonna try to get through them really
All right.
quickly. First and foremost,
You've got 24 seconds.
Valentino's fall fashion show in Zendaya in that gorgeous pink. Just everything they did, the ready-to-wear fashion line was amazing, and I love seeing
lovely.
so many diverse folks of color. Like one woman, very much just gorgeous, darker shade than me, wearing pink, popped. Second, I'm also kind of mad at Disney, and I'm gonna call them out for the fact that they actually sponsored many of the folks who sponsored the Don't Say Gay bill down here in South Florida. And I'm sorry, I got the Disney tattoo. I worked for them. I'm mad. Excuse me? Especially with all of the equality and inclusion that they do.
Yeah.
No Disney.
Largest LGBT employer
Yes.
in the world. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thank you for that. And Dr. Tai Houser, what's on your mind?
So I get a little sappy, I think. I had a decision to make this week, and I made it. And I was offered a job in Switzerland that I turned down. But I turned it down for a lot of different reasons. But one of the kind of things that I've realized in the last couple of days is a relief from turning that job opportunity down is that I still have my community. John, Faye, Sobourney Wiener. It's
Hateful.
it's reassuring to me to know that I'm still in a community that I care about, and that even though this was not the right move at the right time, I'm glad to be here.
We love you.
We're glad to
have
keep you
that.
here.
Wonderful. You're dead to me. All right. So next up, let's catch up with the news from the world of entertainment. From Lost in Translation to Black Widow, I love this story. Scarlett Johansson has played some of our favorite movie characters. She's also dated, read between the lines, or at least hooked up with, oh, now you don't have to read between the lines, some of our favorite hot guys of Hollywood. Here are the guys she's been with, and we premise this from the standpoint of, my goodness, what gay man wouldn't want to be Scarlett Johansson? Number 10 was Jude Law. We loved him in Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. When she was just 19, they were casually seeing each other. Casually means they were having sex every other hour. Number 9, Patrick Wilson. Back in 2014, he had just finished with Angels in America. Oh my God, one of the greatest in history. And she was 20. Number 8, also in 2004, and again in 2012, she was briefly with Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Rumored to be, you know what the rumor is. And she once described him as attractively unavailable.
And well endowed.
Exactly.
Beyond well endowed.
Brava, my love.
Number 7, in 2005, she met Josh Hartnett on the set of Black Dahlia and dated him until 2007. And Josh, I think, is just stunningly beautiful. They both later said they don't recommend dating co-workers. Wink, wink.
Don't do it.
Number 6, Justin Timberlake.
He dated Justin too.
She did a Justin.
Didn't
Her and
she?
Brittany are in
He
the same
did
pot.
his What Goes Around Comes Around.
That's right. In 2007, she was the love interest of JT's What Goes Around Comes Around video, and the two had a fling following that video. Number 5, and come on, gay men. Let me just call it out. Come on, gay men. Ryan Reynolds. Every man's hall pass. They started dating in 2017, got married in 2008, and divorced in 2010. But they had plenty before that.
Isn't he really churchy?
I don't think so.
No, you're thinking of Chris Pratt.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
yeah,
Thank you.
that's
Thank you.
it. That's
Sorry. All right.
That's right.
Love you, Ryan.
This is Deadpool, and we
Yeah.
love Deadpool.
And
Everybody's
he
favorite
entrepreneur and his vodka. God, he's just
gotten some-
brilliant.
TikToks are hilarious.
Hilarious.
He's
And he's
funny.
funny.
I
He's funny. How sexy is funny? That's
Always.
why.
And then he said,
No, Al, don't go there.
No,
Al. Don't
no.
do it, Al.
No.
Don't
He
do
is
it.
Blake Lively.
Al, just leave that open, Al.
We'll-
Blake
we'll-
Lively will break us in half.
We'll pause for a moment. Then number 4, in 2011, she channeled every gay man's daddy issues and started dating Sean Penn.
Let's say this is not a good picture of him, okay?
It's not, but Madonna
It's not.
said that Sean Penn was the most interesting man she had ever met on this planet. That's a quote from Madonna.
That's Madonna.
She was 26. Well, but that's pretty high praise. Seriously.
From Madonna, yes.
Yeah, because she slept with everybody on the planet.
He's got a lot of D.
Yeah, that's right. I have her sex book, by the way, an autographed version of her sex book.
Where do you keep it? Just let me know.
You're right.
Yeah. He's not gonna sleep in your house
you
if
know,
I would.
you're a Cuban, Puerto Rican, New Jersey
Colombian.
girl, Colombian girl, whatever you're
We
claiming.
stab people and steal, yes.
Exactly. She was 26 and he was 50, and they broke up after 4 months. Number 3, in 2012, Scarlett stopped dating actors and dated journalist John Hayden.
That was a wonderful 6 minutes, by the way.
6 minutes. Right. She said that too. We mean Romain Durac. They were married by 2014, and for the second time, she was divorced after barely 2 years in 2016. She just apparently wears them out. Number 2, in 2017, Scarlett took the hunky Joe Makota, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, Machota, as her date to the Academy Awards, and that seemed to be enough for them, though. And number 1, the last in her line of hotties is Colin Jost. Now, this has surprised many. There are many that just think he is the cat's meow, and there are others going, I don't get this. The SNL comedian and her started dating in 2017 and had their first child together in August. And by the way, he has joked about this. I don't know if you've seen his jokes on Saturday Night Live, but the first episode after the news broke that they were together, the cast made joke after joke, and he made joke after joke of how the F did I
land
get
her, right?
Scarlett Johansson. Our Celebrity Hot Topic headline this week then is every gay man wants to be Scarlett Johansson, who she has dated in chronological order. Long setup, but what do y'all think about Miss
Yeah,
Jane?
well, you know, I have obviously I don't like to name drop, but I have interviewed
You don't? You
most
do it all
of
the
the
time.
people on that.
Listen, I got to do a
If
shot.
you're going to
Yeah,
name
cheers.
drop and say these things,
But
do something.
but we were talking before the show about how would she end up with him? They met like in the middle of that string of things. Like they met in like 2004, 2005 when she was first guest starring on the show, and Colin Jost was just a writer. And like she kept coming back to the show. He obviously became much better groomed and more Colony, and they just sort of evolved over time throughout her relationships, and I think it's really sweet.
Yo, I thought I got a lot of ass, but Scarlett Johansson gets a lot of ass. That's a lot of ass. I mean, a lot of fine ass, too.
Not a lot of fine ass, it's a lot of fine D.
Fine D.
Yeah.
See, I'm going to uplift her and say, like, hey, yo, she can do what she wants. She grown and she having fun. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
main
I think that
Yeah.
that's such an interesting comment because at the end of the day, if this was like a little podcast that we were doing, gay guys podcast, we'd all be going, yeah, and some gay guy that we were talking exactly like, yeah. There is a bit of misogyny because she is whatever adjective that we want to use. Now, it doesn't happen quite as much in LGBT, especially among gay men, because we're going, yeah, that's great. But you know there's lots of guys out there, and there's lots of women out there that are just shaming left and right of Scarlett Johansson's dating record. And who
And why? I mean,
the hell
yeah.
business first, and who the hell cares second? And aren't we all happy for Scarlett Johansson?
If anybody had the chance to date any of those guys that Scarlett did, they would be the
would
first
do
in
it.
line.
I don't know. I'd
So-
put my list up against hers any day.
Yeah.
See who has the longer
Child.
one. We know you would.
You do know I know you, right?
But
right.
do you, Al?
Yeah,
But do you?
I do. All right, well, that's our celebrity conversation this week. Our discussion on entertainment. Next, we report that the Happening Out Television Network helps support our LGBTQ community. An example is here at the Sunshine Cathedral. This is the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. We're getting ready to show you pictures, by the way, of what's going on here in terms of the renovations and paintings. You're going to love what you see. We are broadcasting from our permanent set in supporting that partnership. The broadcast from this network is the largest LGBTQ religious broadcast in the world, with more than 30,000 watching every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and it's totally live. We encourage you to tune in, and our campaign of sponsorship proudly supports Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church. Watch this.
Iglesias, a top 16 contestant on NBC's The Voice. The music industry is a variety of styles, types, and rhythms, and that is what fills our lives. That's why I understand diversity is so incredibly important in our LGBTQ community. And that's why Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church.
Well, up next, if we were standing around the LGBTQ water cooler, this is what we think we would all be talking about this week. We refer to it as our hot topic of the week. Facebook has been criticized this week for blocking controversial political figures, but the social media platform got banned by Russia before they could take action against Putin. In other words, Putin got the last laugh. Social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter can be vital for people living in totalitarian governments so that they can communicate with each other and the outside world. Putin angrily was very angry about Russian people speaking out against his actions in Ukraine. You know, the Nazis thing and genocide was going on in Ukraine and all of that nonsense. Well, as part of his restrictions on free press, he banned Facebook. Our main topic headline for this week is the oppressive Iron Curtain returns as LGBTQ free speech has now vanished in Russia. What do y'all think about what we're watching in Moscow and St. Petersburg and Russia in general?
It's sad for the folks that are living there, because in the government that they are living under, they literally cannot have free speech, which for a while they did have, and now this is all happening and it's being taken away from them. I feel like as human beings, we have that natural right. Like, I have an opinion, you all have differing opinions from me. We have the right to express them. Don't be hateful. But if I don't like what you're doing and I want to say it virtually, I can say it. I refer it to my face, but you can't do that with the person leading your country. That is difficult. And sometimes, like, hey, it's a catalyst for additional conversation as well as ways to be able to link to other people.
And the way to figure out the truth.
Exactly.
When your own president is telling you all these lies and feeding you all this nonsense, you're able to research and find out for yourself what is really happening in the world.
We speak from experience.
And this takes me back to like Cuba. You know, remember when, I mean, this little bit of freedom that they were able to be given once the internet was given back to them. You know, they were able to connect with family members that they hadn't talked to in years and let people know that they were safe and okay. You know, this is people's livelihoods.
You know, I'd like to point out someone that we haven't talked about. Her name is Brittany Griner. She is a WNBA superstar.
Yes,
right.
She was detained at the Moscow International Airport upon her arrival because they found hashish vape in her thing.
Her checked bag.
In her checked bag, yeah. They have detained her. I think they released what is passing for a mugshot today, but nobody's really seen or heard from her in weeks. I don't know what she was actually carrying, but the way it is right now, she's considered a prisoner of war. She is going to be used as bait and trade material as this goes forward. We cannot let the Americans that are there, specifically her, be forgotten, because she's essentially a hostage right now.
She is, and it's very sad because for years, and just speaking on the WNBA itself, WNBA players do not get paid as much as their NBA counterparts. That is fact. And so many WNBA players go overseas to play, and she's been playing for Russia for years. She is
since 2016.
Since 2016, and has brought them multiple championships, and now this is how they're treating her. And we've even had American basketball players.
It's not about her.
Citizens.
It's not about. Oh, come on. hashish oil. Come on.
A cartridge.
It's a cartridge.
Right, exactly. It's about her being American at a time where the invasion of Ukraine.
And black
and
and
gay.
gay.
There we
Okay,
go.
let's not forget that part. Okay,
Point
because
that
that's
out.
the main thing right
Because
there.
there are other players that are also there right now that actually came home safely. She did not.
Yeah.
So definitely the fact that she is black, the fact that she is gay, the fact that she is a woman, all ties into that. And especially, she is an American.
Do you think Putin and Russia will be able to keep a tight lid on communication in Russia to the level that they have right now? It's brand new of his initiation. Do you think that he'll be able to accomplish it for very long before there's just an outcry?
I think long enough.
Too long.
Yeah.
Exactly. Long enough to traumatize us.
You know, you lose, and I've read multiple opinions in Russia from Russians about this, and I've heard from Sunny Isles people who are Russians. What you're doing on YouTube is one thing. What you're doing on Facebook and Instagram is another thing. But you take away our TikTok, and we are going to riot in the streets.
That's when I take my wig off. Nuh-uh,
It's
you don't
like,
mess
hold
with
my
TikTok,
hair.
baby.
That's right. You take my TikTok away, and we's going to rumble like in West Side Story.
Well, I mean, it's worth pointing out, China does it pretty efficiently as far as long-term censoring of social media.
Yeah,
That they do.
yeah. But not the entire world is railing against China. Maybe. You know, and to your point, I think it's interesting of what, I think China is an interesting example of what's happening in Russia and Ukraine, because China is sitting there watching a Putin who said, I'm going to roll over Ukraine and it'll be over in days, hours. And 2 weeks later, they're finding out that the Ukrainians are taking to the street and standing in front of the tanks. Moms and even children are standing.
Old
in front of
ladies.
that. Old ladies.
That have never touched a gun in their lives.
And in their lives, and they're watching what they're doing against Russia's oppression and what they're doing to their country. China has to be listening carefully, because they go, wait, if we move against Taiwan, could we have this kind of response from the world? Yes. That's what's going to happen. The whole world is going to respond to oppression, I think, in the exact same way on China. And this has been good for China to go, yeah, you're going to get creamed.
Tai, didn't you teach in China?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, Taiwan's just something we're not allowed to talk about.
At all.
At all. Just don't talk about Taiwan, don't talk about Hong Kong.
Yeah. And also, a little known fact, China also has a policy that you can't talk about Tai's teaching in China. Do you think this is going to get better? That free speech is going to come back?
And that's what scares me. It's what's going to be the next thing that he does.
Yeah. Well, let's jump to it. Nuclear war.
Well, the first bombs go off, obviously, over the Netherlands, The Hague, NATO headquarters, and from there we'll see.
And that sucks. And the fear is already beginning, because I've already gotten like one of those mass texts that tells you, oh, you should have this amount of food at home and prepare for this way. And I'm like, what? That's awful.
Yeah.
I mean, they can also hit the west coast of the United States and everything.
Yeah,
as
well,
Canada. Like,
Russia's
we're right
capable of hitting
there.
any place in the world. This is a big deal. Do you think LGBT is paying attention to this the way we should be?
No.
Yes and no.
I don't think we're paying attention to it from an LGBT perspective. I think that we're paying attention to it from just the general, oh my God, look at what's happening out in the world. Like, kind of like everybody else. I don't know that the LGBT spin has really gotten out there in the amount of play that it should have, because, I mean, there's the war, there's the devastation, there's the just general humanitarian crisis of almost 2 million people that have made their way to Poland and out of the country.
Are y'all hearing about hashtag Moscow Moms, for example? Do you know about this? I've posted a bit about it. What's happening in Ukraine is they capture a Russian soldier, and very frequently the first thing that they do is give them a SIM card if they have a phone themselves, which very likely they do, but they need a SIM card for Ukraine, or they give them a phone, and what they say is, okay, we've captured you, you're now a prisoner of Ukraine. We're going to treat you very humanitarian because of international law, and you're a prisoner. But the first thing we want you to do, here's the phone, call your mom and tell your mom exactly what's going on in Ukraine. And the person who was a police officer from Moscow, who thought he was coming to Ukraine to manage a uprising of Nazism, finds out, wait, this is not this at all. And he tells his mom, this is what's going on in Ukraine. And mom becomes the planted mole in Moscow or St. Petersburg to say, wait, we're being lied to. This is exactly what's going on. Second thing that I think is interesting in terms of free speech and this Iron Curtain that we're talking about is twice in the last week. Anonymous, everybody knows Anonymous with the mask. Well, you can't get in on social media because of what Putin's done. But the broadcast networks, which are government owned, Anonymous is broken in twice and starts with the anonymous picture of the mask and then starts to show video of what's going on in Ukraine on broadcast Russian television that Russia can't stop. Wow. And so people are watching what they're doing in Ukraine.
Wow, and they've boasted about how unhackable they are. Okay,
until you come up against Anonymous.
Yeah.
It's hackable until it's not hackable,
Yeah.
What about hacks?
Yeah, what about hacks? So the Iron Curtain has come down again, but you can't hold humanity down forever. That's what we've learned over and over again. This is not 1956 in Poland or the Czech Republic. All right, let's move on. Let's explore the LGBTQ plus world this week with some other kinds of important headlines in the LGBTQ plus news that is occurring this week. It's a lightning round. Let's discuss each of these in our segment we call Saved by the Bell. Faye, do you know what that means?
No, I hate this.
Do you?
This is my most unfavorite part of the show, and you know why it is, because you use that damn bell. And I've tried to break this bell about 5 different times. It's the unbreakable bell. Like Russia should use this for their tanks, okay? It's like, what the hell?
You think she hates
it? Won't go away.
She's pissed about
Sobourney,
don't let Sobourney touch it. It'll taint her.
In most business structures, if an employee picked up a piece of office equipment like a computer or something and threw it against the wall, like she's done with this bell,
5 times.
that would be grounds for termination.
Well, this isn't the average
There we
business. So. We ring bells in this house. That's how
Exactly. All right. Well, as I said, there's a twist, and we are only going to discuss each headline for 1 minute. At the end of the minute, you're going to hear that merciful bell, and you'll understand in a moment why Faye hates it so much. She talks a lot. All right. First up, for people who have never experienced depression, it's not just about being sad. A former Bachelorette and Dancing with the Stars competitor has opened up about her battle with depression. Saved by the Bell headline number 1. Caitlin Bristow says, quote, happiness and depression can exist simultaneously. What do you all think about that?
I love this picture because it really speaks to me. You can have amazing accomplishments and be unhappy at the same time. Like I was joking earlier about how I've talked to most of those guys on that list. It was fun. Those were fun weekends, but I was severely depressed through all of it. I still take Lexapro. I still take Xanax as needed. But it doesn't help sometimes. Sometimes you're just sad and you have to embrace the sadness. And sometimes your friends will call you from dinner and tell you that they missed you and they wished you'd been there and joke with you and love you. And that means the world because they know why you're not there sometimes. But they're still there for you anyway.
Hey, give John a hug. Get close.
I love you.
Love you
I think John hit it. I mean, I will agree the same way. I have my own depression battles, and I can say that in general, I can say, yeah, I'm happy, but yeah, I'm also really depressed at the same time. These things, these bifurcated ideas can be held together.
And isn't that so part of our community, LGBTQ? I mean, we're insecure, we're happy, we're sad, we're indifferent. We feel attacked constantly from every direction. And it's okay to be happy and it's okay to be sad. Mental health is a real thing. And if you need extra help, go get it. There should be no shame in that. That is freaking ridiculous.
Ask. Exactly right.
And do we know any services that might be available?
I mean, SunServe provides services to the LGBT community within Broward County, and that includes mental health services as well as case management. And we work with people from age 3 years old up until like you're old and wobbly, as they say.
Al's age.
Wait.
What?
Now I'm depressed.
Old and
All right. Well, next, the newly appointed chief of police in Fort Lauderdale. Wait, he was fired?
Yep.
After only 6 months on the job?
Yep, and you thought he was hot.
I did
He
think
still
was
is hot.
He
Still is hot.
I mean, just because he
Why?
was fired doesn't mean
Why was he fired? Well, because he was promoting minorities over white people. Well, apparently that's a no-no.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Right. Saved by the Bell headline number 2. The gay police chief in the gayest place on planet Earth has been fired for discrimination. Now, in full disclosure, he hired or promoted 15 people. 6 of them were African American, and the balance were not. And quite specific of comments that he's made, looking at pictures that were on bulletin boards, that this is too white, allegedly. He said that, etc. And he's been fired.
Well, and it's, and how do you take what he said? Okay, so he looked at a wall on the way walking into a government building and saw all the heads of all the departments, right? And he looks up and he goes, this is a very white wall. I'm going to change this. Is that bad or good? It's just like, okay, like I'm going to change this where I want to get more representation in here. I want us to show what the people look like. We want to be a mirror of what they are. That's different than, we got to get all these white people out of here and I'm going to turn it all,
Exactly. And even and I'm probably going to get in trouble with Tony, but I'm going to say the things. I've even looked at my own organization in the past and been like, yeah, we kind of very white in the folks that we serve. We need to be in communities of color. We need to hit minority communities because they have these same issues, but they're not being served. That's not a problem. Saying like, hey, I look at my staff and I say like, hey, we do not have a staff that actually represents the community that we are serving. It does not wholly represent it.
Oh my goodness.
That's not a problem with pointing that out. You are pointing out like there is a problem if on this wall, and I'm gonna give the example of the presidents of the United States have all been black up until Barack Obama. You're right, you're black, white, my bad, thank you. See, I'm already confused.
You're colorblind.
It's the shots, they got me a little bit. But yes, they have been white up until Barack Obama. That is a problem. We already had racism in the United States. We still have racism. Systemic racism is a thing. And in places of authority, you have, I'm just going to say it, predominantly white and white passing people that are enforcing these laws that are causing harm to minority communities.
I have previous Fort Lauderdale, 3.5 years, been here. Previous Fort Lauderdale friends that would go, Al, you're different. And I wear that as a badge of honor because when I came here for 3.5 years ago, I learned majority county, meaning this Broward County is a majority of women, black, Latino, gay, etc. Traditional minority organizations, or minority representation and majority. The situation of my challenge in our LGBT community, my goodness, my preeminent challenge in our LGBTQ community is the elephant in the room is privileged white male wins. I win. Yep. Privileged white male in the gay community in the majority county. If you walk down Wilton Drive in Wilton Manors, it is very white.
It is.
If you participate in many of the organizational structures in our LGBTQ community, it is predominantly white. That's where you start to go, where are the people of color, women, trans?
Well, and then before John gets a chance to say it, I will say that representation matters. I don't know if it's been said on this program before or not. Ever. But it's true. And, it's something that kind of I had to realize as a young professional as well, working for a community college that serves underrepresented people and, being like the white guy. And I had to kind of come to terms with that and realize that it really does make a difference to my students when they look at their faculty and they see a diverse faculty versus when, exactly.
It's the same story as on television.
Exactly, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing with this. This is not reverse racism. Doesn't exist. Does not exist. Full stop. No. So what he was doing was just trying to create, regardless of the circumstances around it, whatever, create something that reflects your community so that your community supports you.
Exactly. And John, do you have?
Oh, that's just
This weekend, students from
And he likes you best, imagine.
that was so
He hated you.
satisfying. Satisfying, see?
the thing.
Yeah, right. Students from across the state of Florida staged a protest at Walt Disney World. Wait, they're protesting Mickey loving Minnie? What's going on?
Mickey loving Goofy.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Hoping the largest employer and single source of tax revenue from the state of Florida would speak out against HB 1557. Saved by the Bell, headline number 3. LGBTQ student protest at Disney's gates over Mickey's silence on Don't Say Gay. What do we think
go
about Disney?
Well, this is a case of
Proud of
where less is more. The less they say, the less attention they receive either way, and the more money they get from gays, allies, and bigots alike.
Exactly. I literally just heard there's an organization down here that's going to be taking kids down there or up there for gay days, which is great. Like, gay days was created for a reason. Like, you have your community there with you while you go have fun at Disney, you know, go relive your childhood. But you got to also understand that the Disney Corporation has been backing the sponsors of this bill. And it's not until, I think actually today or yesterday, a memo was sent out by the CEO of Disney, Chapkin, whatever his name is, not Bob Iger anymore. Something was sent out saying like, hey, no, we stand behind the community. What we're going to do is look at our personal infrastructure, change some things. But you know what? We didn't say anything.
Wasn't
because
that heartwarming that it only took 2 months to get the memo?
just a memo, an internal memo.
And said, hey, we have inclusive content and stuff. We're doing enough.
Exactly. We have inclusive content. We're trying to do things. It's like, no, you literally make a buck off of our backs. You need to do more.
Gay Disney, we should cancel that. Okay, that person that is called the gay Disney person, the Disney gay, that
Disney
should
gay,
be canceled.
yeah.
Yes.
We no longer have those.
I now need to get rid of my tattoo. That's what
All
I'm
right.
telling
Well,
you.
finally tonight, we are the LGBTQ community. We talked at one example of that. But in general, in LGBT, the Senate and representatives that talk about Don't Say Gay, they got it right. We're all about sex, and we're all about sex
I'm
and
good with that.
relationships.
I've never had sex in my life.
Yeah, all right. So let's play another game, and our game asks, who would you do, and what would you do to 3 different interesting people? And so tonight our game is called Shag, Marry, Chop. And this week, we are celebrating our theme of celebrating Women's History Month,
Woohoo!
Bisexual Awareness Month,
Yes.
and yesterday's International Women's Day with hot bisexual women.
Yay, we never do this with women. I'm so excited. I do this with women often, but you don't do it with women. So this is awesome. I'm so happy we're doing this.
See, now I'm like face telling the truth because I asked last time, is it women on here? And you said yes.
Wait.
This is the first time.
No. It's happened a
kidding.
couple times.
Wait, we're so excied. As
I
you
say the
said-
same thing about
say it-
women. It's
say what
happened a
you
couple
just
of
said,
times.
that you're
Like, it
so
just
I'm so
happened.
excited.
Yeah,
I wanna see
my
who
best
it is.
Bianca Del Rio. Yay! All
We're
right.
not really having sex with the vagina out. It's not really coming at you, I promise.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And some
I'll
women
stand in
like
front of it.
Vagina dentata is real.
Yes, exactly.
and some
so,
women like anal. I mean.
yeah.
same.
So wait, what?
Where did
All right, where did that
We need
come
more
from?
shots, please.
I just
My
typed a lot.
It's like John and Ty just and I.
Is that
what? What? Wait, we did our best
Very like,
Scooby Doo.
no.
All right.
It's the shots.
Okay, right.
It's the shot, she says. Yeah.
It's the
All
shots.
right.
Lack of food.
So, lack of food. All right, we'll blame it on the food. All right, so this week we're going to play with Ruby Rose
Yes.
She's good.
and Megan Fox
It's that Ruby Rose in a dress, girl.
Yeah.
and Janelle Monáe.
It's from the music video they did.
All right,
Monáe.
so let's play Shag, Marry, Down Girl.
I'm so sorry. Like, all parts of me are like,
All the Twitter?
yeah, sure, we'll
All
say that. I don't
right,
know
yeah,
if I
all
want to
right.
say that word on
All right, so John, let's try to find out who you're going to pretend you're all excited about. Who are you
He's like, I don't
shagging?
care.
I'm gonna shag Ruby Rose because like, look
I think
at her.
Ruby
Look at her
Rose
with.
might shag you.
Yeah, right.
Yes. That's what
Um,
some like anal.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, see, he might like it then. She
Yeah.
straps on.
Yeah.
She's in charge.
I'm gonna call her
Same.
Peg the entire night.
Oh,
I'm gonna marry Janelle Monáe because she is so wonderful. She's such a sweetheart to talk to. I just love every moment I get to spend with her.
Introduce us and stop
Would
playing.
you please stop the drop? It's like,
Wow,
you
pick
know,
that up.
I looked that up in our Urban Dictionary or in phrases, stop the drop, and John's picture.
That was right there.
My God.
Refer to.
And I've got to chop Megan Fox because she is too cray-cray. I know a couple people who have actually dated her or gone out on dates with her. And
If I was
she's just-
playing,
Is
then
MKG also cray-cray like
just
that?
chosen
Yes.
her based on what you said.
I kinda banged
Because
too.
damn, my history is the cray-cray. Jeez.
Yeah.
All right, and Ty, let's get you out of the way.
Said the last woman I dated. So yeah, I got to follow suit with John. Ruby Rose, because when I first saw her on Orange is the New Black, I was like, damn, that is one fine-looking woman.
Yeah.
She was just fine. And then, okay, so that's Shag. And then Janelle, of course, because I agree, like, just a sweetheart. I don't know her personally. I can't name drop. But every time I've seen her interviewed or, like, seen her on TV or whatever, she seems really nice. And Megan Fox, I don't know. I feel like she's just been around long enough she can get chopped.
All right, the three gay guys at the table. We can appreciate women, right? If we went into the major gay bars on Wilton Drive, do you agree with me that most of the gay guys in the major gay bars on Wilton Drive would go, I appreciate how beautiful she is, but there's just no way I want to have sex with her?
Yeah.
They'd be like, yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah. Most boys love to motorboat my boobs, but they're like, no, that's all we want to do.
Now,
Same thing.
I think
Grab the
that's
ass, grab the
interesting, though,
boobs.
because we get there really quick. Now, women are very different. Women can go, oh, wait, in this situation I could, and in this situation I will.
Yeah.
We don't do that. I think it's interesting.
We always will.
Yeah.
Like, it's like comparison shopping. Yeah, like,
Yeah. Okay, and Sobourney, who are you going to
I
shag?
thought you were going to go to get the guys out of the way.
Yeah, I've gotten, I'm not playing. Are you?
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
just clarifying.
Sobourney.
I think I'm also going to follow suit with how everyone has said it. Like, Shag, Ruby Rose all day, every day. Like,
Every day.
Yes, I'm like, I can have a
Girls
side
would
piece.
wait, I'm curious now. Girls would have sex every day?
What do you
I mean-
mean? A couple times a day. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like, we can go for hours.
Yeah, we
I've
don't-
literally
we don't
gone
have
an
that little
entire
thing that
night
you guys
and
have.
not giving it ish and told my partner, like, what, you tapping out? I'm not done yet. Like, we still going.
Wait, you call
Chinese
it,
doesn't get here for another 45 minutes.
Exactly. Like, we started at 10 p.m. It is only 5 a.m. Why are you sleeping? Wake up.
Right, and you use phrases like no tapping out? Really?
I've said that before.
Oh.
You don't tap out. You can take a 5-minute nap, but you don't tap out.
Okay.
Do that on your own time.
Exactly.
I'm learning,
Like, you can do that tomorrow at
Now,
11
see, I
p.m.
admire that, but I have found gay men don't really think that way. Do y'all think that they do? It's kind of like it's the moment they might cuddle or they might whatever, but it's the 15, 20, 30 minutes and done.
You
agree
really
with
don't.
that?
When you look at me, you don't see that I can just.
Like, just keep going
I
like
mean,
the Energizer
I'm
Bunny.
kind of in it to win it, Al. I mean, I don't.
For long, she just said from 10 a.m. to 5 a.m.
That was
10
happy.
p.m.
I mean,
Okay, there you go. I'm sorry.
well, let's just say in my
Twice.
younger days, I could probably go that
We're
long.
talking today.
But today, maybe
okay.
less.
So
But I
just-
would go for it if I could.
Okay,
I mean,
but
let's be
that's
honest. The
no-
new,
Let-
the new
let me
season
put
of
this-
Umbrella Academy is going to drop. I've got things to do.
You can have sex while watching the Umbrella Academy. It's called
Netflix.
Netflix and Chill.
And I have.
Hey, yes.
Oh.
Look,
Look, and let me freak you out. Women, the older they get, the more they can do it.
Yeah.
Okay?
I've heard.
Isn't
I've
that
heard.
crazy?
And it can happen repetitively. We have like
I
a
am not bragging, but I think I'm a lesbian woman then.
Oh.
Because the reason I'm asking this question is because I do have this conversation with gay men a lot, and frequently I find gay men, as they get older, they're much less interested in the long term, the tap out
They want the
issue.
quickies.
Yeah, it's
It's
like,
like
let's
They
just-
gotta watch the Umbrella thing.
15, 20 minutes.
There are positives to both.
I
5
mean-
minutes before I leave for work, yes, let's go. 3 hours, 6 hours at night, sure, why not?
And would that break a relationship for you?
Well, it has always become a complicated situation,
like you,
even currently.
Ah.
Yeah, even currently. I don't know.
And I know all your currents. So
I'm a little weird, I guess. Okay, and we finished with you?
I haven't finished.
Get her out of the way. Get her out of the way.
She's
not tapping out.
Did you tap out?
baby, she ain't
I have
tapping out.
not rung the
Okay,
bell.
all right. And
no.
your Mary is?
Shag Ruby, yes. Mary Janelle Monáe. I just feel like she would treat me so right. and would respect me and would treat me like a queen, and then I could treat her like a queen, and
You
then
know,
we'd be
she looks
queens
like
together.
she moves,
just-
facial expressions, her eyes, her blinking.
Beautiful.
She looks like a painting as an artist would look at it. Look at her. She moves in spectacular ways. She is a living painting.
She
to me.
is. I
Beautiful.
loved her when she was in the suit with the pompadour
Oh.
singing, and we tip on the tightrope, and nobody got it. I was like, I get it, girl. What's up? But Megan Fox. Yes, just
Yeah.
a minute.
Okay.
I don't know if I hate chopping. That means like I'm killing you, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
that's what it means.
I don't want to kill her. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
care. That's the
Yeah.
main thing. I'm like,
Don't worry, I got use for her. Let her go. Let's
See,
go.
you can
Let's
have
go.
her.
Bring
All
her over. Let's
All
go.
right, let's
Say
go
what?
to
What do you
Faye.
think? Let's go. I've been waiting since the beginning of this. Oh my gosh.
should just let Faye
My
go
nipples
first.
are hard. Like I need to get this out.
See, I need
You're
more of a
shagging.
minute.
Who?
So I'm bottoming for Ruby Rose, okay?
Yes.
Like that's what I'm saying.
That's
I'm
where
gonna
we're
let
at right
her
here.
shag me. That is how much I want
Somebody
her.
hand me a
Faye,
phone. I
Faye,
gotta call
that's why we're
Teresa.
right.
And this is a power this is a power top right here, telling you that I would bottom for Ruby
Power
Rose. Okay?
bottom.
There it is. Now I'm gonna marry Megan Fox, and here's the reason: because my wife is so normal, and Megan Fox is so freaking bananas that it would be something different. All right. And so I have to chop Janelle Monáe because she looks like an ex.
Now wait,
and
wait,
that ex
wait.
doesn't
Before you
matter
get
much.
into
That's
Janelle,
fair.
she does look like an ex, doesn't she?
I'm just saying.
Now, in terms of Megan and you marrying Cray Cray, would Teresa get into that? Would she add her as a third?
Teresa doesn't do cray cray.
At all.
I don't know how she, I don't know how she got
Faye.
You walked right into it
was
because
trying
I'm
not to
going,
say
wait,
that.
my ears went, bing.
Like, hold
Wait a minute. Because I love Teresa. I love her wife. Her wife is so anti-Faye. It's like she's a different, it's a completely different planetary mold.
She's boring. She's a nurse practitioner.
I love her.
She can, you know.
I
yeah.
love her.
She tells you what allergies you have and stuff.
There you go.
Yeah. She'll tell you where to get the nearest COVID vaccine.
Okay,
You know, it is
all
what
right.
it is. I love her to pieces.
yeah,
She's
exactly.
the yin to my yang.
Okay, absolutely.
And we do it from 10 to 7 a.m. So
Teresa, I'm calling you right after
Here
the
for
show.
it.
All right, before we end the show tonight, we want to introduce you to our sponsor, Jets Pizza. Are you coming to South Florida, gay community, living here in South Florida? This is the pizza of choice. It's outstanding. This is their pepperoni. They've got great cauliflower crust. I love
Delish.
that. We are getting ready to enjoy it right after the show. In fact, Faye's ate half of the pizzas that already got here.
good. And those cinnamon sticks, when I get home, I rub that up.
The jalapeno sticks.
Do you rub them from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m.?
6 hours.
To 7 a.m.
All right.
That's what I heard.
I'm tired of you people. So that's it, Ocean Drive. Right? That's it, Wilton Drive. That's it.
Keep
I'm
drinking.
just telling
Keep
you.
drinking. Keep
That's
drinking.
it. All right. This is the world's first and most popular LGBTQ talk
laughed
show
on that. I heard
in
it.
the world.
Go Loves.
Before we sign off, let's hear from our host for one final good night. And just right to the good night point let's begin with Tai Houser.
Good night, my homeboys and homegirls. Just keep thinking and keep your hearts for Ukraine.
Ukraine, that's a lovely message. And a good night from John Hayden.
This last weekend, I went back to New York City for the first time since the pandemic. I was there to celebrate my little brother's 36th birthday. It was a toga party. It was amazingly fun.
I saw the pictures.
Will, raising you was the honor and privilege of my life, and I love you.
Oh, that's beautiful. I saved to the left of me and to the right of me to last because we're celebrating women this week. And we celebrate women, and we celebrate women first and foremost at Happening Out Television Network, as we do trans, as we do black, as we do Latino, because the little known, or maybe unfortunately the well-known secret, is even in our LGBTQ community, we're not as progressive as we think we are. And gay, white men have to do more. Full stop. Mic drop. Thank you. And a good night from Sobourney Barnes.
Good night, everyone. Rest well, be well. Have a great Women's History Month, and honestly, celebrate women every day. But also, if there's legislation going on that you do not agree with in your area, write to your local state legislators. You have the power. They serve us. Remember that always.
We remind you that Ukraine is an illustration that you can stand up against some of the most powerful people in the world and still succeed. And that's what I just heard Sobourney say. And a good night message from FayWhat.
FayWhat? John Hayden, you must let me use that toga. Good night, folks. Listen, thank you for allowing us to come into your homes every single week on It's Happening Out. Thank you for watching us on Queer News Tonight and also on It's Happening Out. And make sure that you watch the FayWhat show Monday mornings at 9 a.m., okay? We love being a part of your world. What are you laughing at? Your toga thing?
Yes, the toga thing.
You look hot.
Me and my brother.
Yeah.
Very cute.
I'm liking like the little laurel thing.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, is what you watched tonight important to you? You sat right here at the LGBTQ kitchen table, right along with us as we talked about all kinds of bizarre things in the community. This is an important time. Yesterday we watched a horrendous moment in the state of Florida, arguably as bad as we've ever seen in our lives since the Stonewall riots in June of 1969. We've got to work together. The only way we survive all that we are watching is if the L and the G and the B and the T and the Q and the plus, our allies, all come together. Our fighting together is the only way we can do it. I draw the comparison to what we're watching in Ukraine. It is so inspirational to me, first and foremost, that President Zelensky. What we are watching mothers and grandmothers do standing in front of tanks in whatever city in Ukraine. It is inspirational to me that the entire world is standing up this week saying, I am Ukraine. That's exactly what we want in our community. In the fight of the invasion that we are seeing from Governor Ron DeSantis and in Tallahassee, we want everybody to stand up with our community and say, I am gay. Help us do that. Keep watching It's Happening Out. Remember, we're here every Wednesday at 9 p.m. live. And don't forget, Queer News Tonight is daily at 8 p.m. and we report the news of the world. Hotspots Magazine, and we're getting ready to produce the Stonewall Pride event in June. And remember, if it's important to you, these 5 are here for you at It's Happening Out. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.